So, for the last month or so, we definitely knew that Al Haymon was going to be taking his boxers from Golden Boy Promotions and over to NBC. Now, today, we find out how many boxers Golden Boy has kept from Al Haymon, or excuse me, how many fighters Al Haymon allowed Golden Boy Promotions to keep. I'm T-Street Controversy with RealCombatMedia.com. What I'm going to do is ask you to go to www.goldenboypromotions.com, and they have updated their fighter list. But something's a little not right. It's small, but we'll get to it. So first, I'm going to read some names off to you. So basically, you can get a general understanding of, the situation Golden Boy is in and what fighters they have and what fights they can make, and so on and so on. So take this time out to subscribe. You got to hit the little thing up there, or, basically right down below is the red button. And I put out a lot of boxing videos. I'd make sure that you get boxing news that you need, not no pointless stuff. So I'm going to read some names here. Now, we know the givens already. We know Saul Canelo Alvarez. We know David Lemieux. We know Amir Khan. We know Leo Santa Cruz. A lot of people didn't know about Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder is a Golden Boy Promotions fighter. Now, we're going to get to a whole lot of details, but let me read off some more names to you that you may know. Saddam Ali is the #1 contender for Manny Pacquiao's WBO belt. You got Alfredo Angulo. You got Jermell Charlo, the brothers Charlo. You got Caballero. You got Pablo Cesar Cano. Let's see who on. You got Diego De La Hoya, Eddie Gomez, Frankie Gomez, Gilberto Gonzalez. I've heard of him. Bernard Hopkins, Mauricio Herrera, Yoshihiro Kamagai, Jorge Linares, and Paulo Malignaggi. It says Paulo Malignaggi. Wow. Lucas Matthysse, Christian Mars, Ivan Morales. Let's see, Luis Ortiz. We know he failed the drug test. Roberto Ortiz. That's the guy who fought Matthysse in his last fight. And Michael Perez, not the heavyweight. We're talking about, I believe he's the welterweight. And Soto Carras, Humberto Soto. Francisco Vargas, Jason Velez. And basically, a whole bunch of prospects. So fights can be made with that, but it's clear that Golden Boy Promotions itself, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, no Haymon, no Richard Schaefer, even though Haymon's there a little bit, is going to need Haymon boxers or top-ranked boxers or other boxers within other promotional platforms to put on fights. They're in a situation where they had all those fighters, and some shady shit went down. Man, we got NBC's premier boxing champions. When we got guys like Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero, Adrien Broner, John Molina, Andre Berto, and look, remember how many names are missing from that Golden Boy list. Now, just a few days ago, it had all the old stuff on there. Still had Floyd Mayweather on there. Still had Adrien Broner. But now we have an updated one. But see, let it be known that when it comes to Jermell Charlo, the brothers Charlo, Deontay Wilder, Leo Santa Cruz, and who else? I missed Amir Khan, and plenty of other guys that are still there are Al Haymon advised fighters. So still, Golden Boy may have the fighters, and may not have lost all the fighters, but the main fighters that they do have, you can say the main fighters, I'm talking about the significant ones, are majority controlled by Al Haymon anyway. So, it's still the stink of Al Haymon can do what he wants without those fighters or whatever. It's an ugly, ugly situation. But I'm glad, I guess, for Golden Boy Promotions that they're free, that they can go do whatever they want. They don't have to worry about the politics unless it comes down to guys like Leo Santa Cruz. And if you notice when it comes to Haymon, with his NBC Premier Boxing, which is going to be using basically other promotional companies. So basically, the card on March the 7th is going to be Goosen Promotions. We don't know what the card on April the 11th is going to be. So basically, Haymon Boxing is just a managerial advisory company. You sign to him. You don't sign to no promoters unless he wants you to, unless he allows you to. And NBC Premier Boxing Champions is actually the brand. So it's not a promotional company. Haymon doesn't have a promotional company. He won't be promoting. So basically, he just will be the manager advisor, and all of us working for him. And what he's doing is he's renting out his fighters' services to whatever promoter that he feels, he wants to go to. Like, y'all want to make a little extra money? Okay, yeah. You got John Molina. Okay, John Molina's promoted by you guys. Okay, well, yeah, let's build the card around that. Voila, you got a promoter. You can use one of the smallest fighters, on the card and use a promoter for that smaller fighter. And Al Haymon could promote a whole card with it. It's genius. It's genius. How this free agent thing works. But it is what it is. I gotta honestly say that Golden Boy is in the situation where something had to give with Richard Schaefer, because right now, this is exactly why Richard Schaefer is gone. And this is exactly why fans and the media feel that Richard Schaefer, Al Haymon, did Oscar De La Hoya dirty. Is because you put the company in a situation where they are like this. Now, it's not bad, but it's bad. Compared to where they were, all the fighters they had on the cards, that's a big, humongous chunk of pure talent just gone. And I can understand how De La Hoya felt. He felt, well, I can have all these fighters fighting on my cards, but what's the point? I can't say, I want this person to fight this person. Everything's dealing with Al Haymon, So, Of course, De La Hoya still had the chance to work with Haymon, because Haymon was like, well, listen, we just use your cards. You go to put cards on NBC. But Oscar De La Hoya didn't, he just wasn't cool with the deal. Simple as that. And me personally, I wouldn't want to be under that. And the fact that you still got your main boxers outside of Sol Canelo Alvarez under Al Haymon, so he still got to dictate some shit there to you, And then you don't know, since they're advised by Al Haymon, you don't know that when their Golden Boy contract is up, that they'll just leave you and go to Al Haymon, then Golden Boy will be completely left with just prospects and guys like Mauricio Herrera. Nothing's wrong with that, but it's just like, wow, some fucked up shit went down. I'm T Street Controversy on Twitter, T Street Controversy on Instagram, T Street Controversy on Facebook, #1 fastest growing boxing reporter on YouTube, RealCombatMedia.com. I cover every single major fight live, weigh-ins, press conferences, and all that's new for me. News, predictions, post-fight results, I do it all. Please subscribe.